Now, what do I have here? This is the NextBase 402G Dashcam. I've been thinking about getting a dedicated dashcam for a little while, rather than just using the GoPro that I've got. So I thought I would invest in this after seeing reviews online. So let's get out of its box. Pain in the backside, these little sticker things, but that's that out of the road. Okay, so what's in here? We've got a little leaflet directing us to the nextbase.co.uk website, obviously, so that we can download software, manuals, etc. We have the natty little dash cam itself, quite compact, and a little screen on the back there. What else do we have in the box? There's a standard mini USB to USB cable for connecting to a PC. Little suction mount for putting it on the windscreen. Nice long power lead for connecting to the cigar lighter. Oh, a nice HDMI cable with gold plated connectors. That's a little bonus. And we've also got software for Windows and Mac and an instruction manual on a CD-ROM. And a quick start guide. It's got an internal battery which lasts for 6 to 10 minutes. Not very long, but at least when you turn the ignition off, it'll keep recording for a little while. Okay, so what do we have on the camera? We've got a few buttons on the back. There's menu, EV, mode, and a play button and a fast forward, fast reverse button as well. The play button also has an exclamation mark, so I would believe that to be what you would push in the event of wanting to retain footage if something's happened, if it's not set off the G meter, because this has got a G-Shock sensor in it, so if you have an accident it will store the footage and not record over it. You know, handy that you don't end up losing your accident footage if you're going to need it to show your insurance company or even the police. So what else do we have? You've got your HD out for connecting to a TV. There's a little reset button. Always worries me that when they have to put one of these on it. It suggests that it might get into an unusable state, so you have to do a reset on it. There's the AV socket. I don't seem to have any lead to go in there, so I'll need to investigate further what that is. There's the USB socket, which is obviously for connecting the power and connecting to the PC to download footage. And in here we have, protected behind a rubber boot, the socket for a micro SD card. on the top you've got a power button and a little OK button that's got a video symbol and also a camera symbol on the top. So I would imagine that it could take stills as well, but we'll get to that once I have a further look at what the specs are and how to use it once I've fired it up. But there you have it, the 402 GPS NextBase Dashcam. Now, putting in the SD card, it's a micro SD card that I found out it's got to be between class 6 and 10. This is a class 8 16GB card. It takes up to a maximum of 32 gigabytes, which I'm told that gives about 10 hours of recording. So plenty of time to store between putting on your PC. So that's it, as easy as that. So as you can see, I've put the mount up behind the mirror, and there's a good reason for that. It means that you don't lose a lot of your view because it's obscured by the mirror, obviously. Anyway, so it's a good place to put it. It's central. It's not picking up door pillars or anything else that will obscure footage. So a good place to put it. So I mean, as you see, it's I can't get the actual camera behind the mirror because the mount doesn't go high enough up the screen, otherwise it wouldn't stick, because you've got this mesh stuff. This is a Vauxhall Astram in here, but still it obscures very little. It's quite a small camera. It actually looks bigger here because obviously I'm not very far from it with the camera. So if I put the camera back here, you can actually see that it doesn't obscure your view. And what I've done is started to put the cable into the lining of the windscreen here. So I'll continue that down and then work it round and along so that it's well hidden, you know, and not interfering with anything. Okay. Now let's just get the ignition on, turn this thing on. And we're going So, what do we have here? It's asking to press OK. I'm assuming that it's play. Possibly not. Is it that one? Yes, it is. There we go. So there you have it. That's it. Up and running and recording. It doesn't appear to have the date correct, but we'll have to set that. But then we'll get some footage and put that on YouTube later, and we'll see how we get on. So here you see the software that you get with the NextBase camera driving recorder player. So I'm going to bring up a little file that that I recorded today, and let you see how it appears on here. So if we open that up, there you go. And what it can actually do, if I remember rightly, if we show it, there should be a map. There we go. So that actually shows you the progress of where you're on where you're in the car and on the dash cam. So it shows you your journey here. Clever stuff. You can also go full screen if you double click on the image. You get a nice full screen view of the footage. Pretty neat. You can hit double click again, and that will come back to the normal console for looking at this. It's got quite a lot of metrics. You've got your G-Shock for X, Y and Z axes there, showing you what impacts the car is taking as you're going along the road. Speedo, that's straightforward. GPS coordinates are stamped and embedded into the video, as is the time and the date, and that's the model of the dash cam.
Is away, and you know, then if we do that, then we can look forward to a final.
So that's Mike Ford, who's the Bath coach, talking to Sonia. So they last won it, what, 19 years ago? Leicester have won it a few times in between then, haven't they?
8 times,
to be
precise.
What, 8 times? Wow. I mean, historically, two giants of the game in this country, aren't they, these two?
Yeah, absolutely. You get the impression, though, that neutrals would very much like to see Bath at Twickenham. I think they much admire their desire to play that they've shown across the season. I'm joined here by Chris Hewitt, rugby correspondent of The Independent, Bath born and bred as well. Chris, do you think this is Bath's year?
I would hope so, both as a Bath guy, with my non-objective hat on, but also I think as a rugby lover, they have played an extraordinarily exhilarating, dynamic brand of rugby this season, something that we haven't seen probably from any of the top flight clubs for a long time now, and they're showing that rugby can be more than a dogfight at the breakdown and a few 5-metre line-out mauling tries. They've made the ball do the work, they've given a tremendous amount of space and expansiveness to their game. So yes, if you want to be on the side of the Angels, I think you'd be on the side of Bath today.
It's been a difficult season for Leicester. They've had injuries, admittedly, but Richard Cockrell has needed those broad shoulders of his. Reaching the playoffs as they have for the 11th successive season, does that paper over cracks, or is it business as usual?
I think a bit of both, actually. Speaking as a Bath man, as you say, born and bred, it's quite tough to bend the knee and dock the cap to Leicester, but you have to do it. They've had a pretty awful season in terms of the style of their rugby. They've suffered some humiliating defeats, not least 45-0 down here at this very ground at the start of the Premiership campaign. But as Freddie Burns said in the week, we're rubbish apparently. Oh look, we're in third and we're in the semi-final. It's an extraordinary effort. They are a desperately cussed, difficult to beat band of blokes.
They're wearing orange today in the sunshine, so we're not going to miss Leicester Tigers. 11 players here today, Chris, named in England's Rugby World Cup training squad on Wednesday, including Rugby League recruit Sam Burgess, who's at blindside flanker again today for Bath. Now, if merit is the criteria for selection, does he deserve that place in that squad of 50?
On pure merit, it's difficult to argue that he does deserve it insofar as he hasn't done anything yet. Bath started to play him at inside centre when he first came across from League, which is where, as we understand it, England still are interested in seeing him as a World Cup candidate. That didn't work. Bath have realised it didn't work. The only way Bath get to play the extraordinarily dynamic brand of rugby we've just been talking about is not to have him